Welcome to Sizzling Seniors, and I'm Rita Daisy Orcutt. This guest that I have today is a first for me. First time I ever met one, and the first time I ever had one on the program. He's a documentary filmmaker named Zadi Zokou. I do that right?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Born in the Ivory Coast of Africa, graduated from the National Teachers Center, taught children in a remote village for 9 years. He has a lovely wife, Karen, and a daughter, Fiona. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Now, why did you leave Africa and why Natick?
Why Ivory Coast first? It's a long story. I met my wife when she was a Peace Corps volunteer in my country. And we got married, and we decided to live in my country. But we had some political unrest in the country, and she couldn't stay. She had to leave. So I joined her here in the US. And why Natick? Because she grew up in Framingham, next door. She has a family in Framingham. So she wanted to stay on a place where she would be close to her family. So we chose Natick because her sister lived here before her, but also because it's a very quiet and nice place to raise a kid.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we had we had a very young kid at that time. Now she's 10. Yeah, but yeah, so that's the reasons why we left my country.
She's in a good school system.
Yeah, she's in Johnson Elementary School.
Right.
Yeah, and it's right next door.
Wow.
It's about a minute from the house, so it's very convenient.
Okay. You've got an interesting background. Now, you also, I know you are a documentary filmmaker. You also are a script writer.
Yep.
But you started television in the Ivory Coast.
No, I didn't set the television, but I was a teacher, elementary school teacher in my country, and then I went to the ministry, the communication service of the Ministry of Education in my country, and there we had a program for the national TV. So I was a producer there. And but also in the country, I wrote screenplays for several organizations. Yeah, and those screenplays was turned into movies that were shown in the whole West African region.
That's so exciting. But I think when you and I talked, that you also wrote screenplays for HIV and HIV?
Yeah, those I was...
I can't read my own handwriting here.
Yeah. Those I was talking about, they're mainly about HIV, AIDS.
AIDS, that's why.
HIV, AIDS. I wrote 3 in my country, and I wrote several other screenplays for other organizations. And 2 years ago, I went to Burundi from here.
Went to where?
Burundi. It's a country in Central Africa. Yeah,
yes.
I spent 3 weeks there researching and writing screenplays for 3 health-related topics, like childbirth, in health centers like malaria, and yeah, so the movies have been made now, and I got some copies there, and it was ordered by an organization here in the US. So I'm a screenwriter too.
So you also went, you trained in France, Canada, and Japan?
Yeah, this is in France, Canada, also Burkina Faso. That is in the country in West Africa, next to my country, and in Tunisia also, where I bought this.
Well, you haven't really spent much time in your original house, I guess.
Yeah, but all of those were for screenwriting. Screenwriting in Japan, it was audiovisual technologies, like things in studio and stuff like that. And then when I came here to the US, I couldn't write because I had to write in English. I write in French, not in English. Oh. So I took some classes for documentary filmmaking at Mass Art in
Yeah.
Boston, in Brookline, and that's how I started to make documentaries here.
You had a very interesting life, even up to that point. I think
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah,
And you've done a lot for Natick too, right?
yeah.
A lot of documentaries for Natick.
Yeah, in fact, I did 3 documentaries, but the first one was mainly a student project, riding a bicycle in Natick.
You know, I just can't picture that. Well,
No, it's...
was it children riding bicycles?
No,
Adults? Or just
adults.
riding a bicycle?
Riding a bicycle, how difficult it is to ride a bicycle in Natick.
Is it difficult?
Yeah, at that time it was difficult. It was in 2006, and for this project, a friend of mine was member of the Natick Pedestrian Bicycle and Pedestrian Committee.
Would that be Mr. Miller?
Mr. Miller is the leader of the thing.
He is Mr. Bicycle in
Yeah,
Natick.
but one of his friends that I knew.
Oh.
So we did that. It's about half hour, yeah, and with Dick Miller, yeah, we did that. And then I decided to do something else. And my neighbor has an autistic kid.
An autistic child.
Yeah,
How
a
old
girl.
was the child?
At that time, she was 4. I think she's 7 now. And so she wanted to do something about her and put it on YouTube. I said, but why do you want to do something very short? You won't have enough time to say what you have to say. So let's do something longer, a documentary that we can use to to tell people what autism is. So yeah, we did that. And the title of the documentary is Eliza, My Songbird. Eliza is the name of the girl. Yeah. And for the last one, I did Praying Town, about the history of Natick, and that is also the history of southern New England. Yeah, what I found out is that many people have been living here for a very long time, but they didn't know what praying Indians
No,
mean.
they didn't. No.
And you have so many names here in the town, and many people didn't even know what those names.
When I first moved to Natick, I was going to the post office downtown. That was the main post office at the time. And I looked up on the wall, and there was this Puritan. I guess he was a Puritan. I'm not sure now. With Indians. And it said, the Reverend Elliot with the Natick praying Indians. And I said, what is that about? I had no idea that this was where the first Christianized Indians lived. I said, when I found that out, I said, well, you know, this must be a special town for more than one reason.
And that's the reason also why I made this documentary. Yeah, because I live in a street called Waban Street.
Yes.
Waban. So I was curious to know who this Waban was. And when I found out that he was the first convert, Native American convert here in Natick, I said, well, that's interesting. And then I said, okay, let's see, because it looks like there's a very interesting history here. Because when you start with first and first and first, means that this story is very original, because everything may be first here.
There is a lot of first.
A lot of first.
Right.
So yeah, so I was digging, and I found out other things, like John Eliot and his work with the Native Americans. Also, Harriet Beecher Stowe, who wrote...
Did she live here once?
Yeah.
I missed that one.
So when I found out all of this, and even Henry Wilson...
Henry Wilson.
Yeah, when I knew
definitely.
that he
A
became vice president, I said, but...
I forgot whose vice president he was, but...
yeah, I think Grant.
I think it was Grant.
Julius Grant.
Yes.
So I said, wow, this town is special. It has a very special
He was a great
story.
abolitionist, too.
Yeah.
Wilson was. That I remember reading.
So that's the reasons why I decided to make this documentary about Natick.
Well, I think you've come to the right town.
I think so.
I'm sure your family likes it here.
Oh yeah. And my wife, she's very comfortable here, and my daughter especially, because we live in a neighborhood where there are so many kids
This
age.
is a very friendly town and very well run. Our system of town government is unbelievable. It works for the town, by the town, and we benefit because we have great people here that are interested in doing the right thing for Natick, and it's a very family-oriented town. Now, is there anything special you're thinking of for the future for yourself? Or for Natick?
Oh, for Natick, no, it's not a secret. I mean, it's the follow-up of what I did with Springtown that I would like to do. Yeah, but not right now. I'm going to take my time to do that. And the very next one is going to be just the thing about Africans.
The African,
Yeah, and
yes,
I
yes.
started, and I'm planning the start of the project beginning of March.
In March.
Yeah.
So March is going to be a very busy month for you.
Yeah, because it's going to get warmer too, so
Oh, yeah,
I'll
thank
be able
God.
to be out and film.
Look at, if I put any more clothes on, I probably wouldn't be able to put my coat on today. I thank you so much for being here.
Oh, you're welcome.
I
Thanks
think
for
you-
having me.
You know, I think you have given so much to the town of Natick for its history. I personally thank you. We have to wrap this up now. So, I'd like to leave you with a thought. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a gift to be enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us. Thank you, Zadi. And I wish you many blessings in the month of March, especially.
Thank you very much. Thank you.